What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Reformed Reader, the channel where we review different forms of media through the lens of a Christian who is under the authority of the scriptures. And today, I just want to do a monthly check-in with you guys. Now, I don't read enough to do like a weekly reader type thing, and so I just want to kind of let our hair down. Maybe not in my case, but just kind of let our hair down and just talk to you guys, let you guys know what I've been up to for the month, especially this being my first month on YouTube. So let's start with, what did I read? I did not read very much. Now, guys, I am a slow reader. I try to read quite a bit, but I am just a slow reader. And so I only read 4 books this month. So the first one is really like 4 and like 2 halves of books. But let's start with the first one. The first one I read was Aftermath by DJ Molet.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Molet, I think is how you say his last name. This is book 2 in his remaining series. And I got about almost, I don't know, maybe 60-70% into this book. I really liked book 1, but it's been about a year since I picked the series up, but I had to DNF this one. I've got a review for the first book and a half, I guess, coming soon, but this was one of the first books that I've had to DNF because of language. So I had to put this one down. You know, it got a little too grotesque at times, and it was just too explicit for my taste. Yeah, so this was the first one that I picked up. Now, book 2 that I picked up for the month is The Silver Blood Promise. Now, I have a dedicated review for this book on my channel. So I picked this book up. I really enjoyed it. Just to reiterate a couple things in my video, it's a debut novel. It did feel a little bit like it at times, but it was a fun, lighthearted read. It's a real fast-paced heist story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I had to pick up this broken binding edition on the secondhand market because it is just so pretty, and the cover is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to book 2. So this was a really good book, and even though it's pretty thick, it read super fast. I think I read it in like 5 days or something like that, but it's excellent. So I highly recommend it. Book 3 that I picked up was The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Now, apparently, there's some controversy around this book. I had no idea until I put out my dedicated review of this. So I had seen the movie several years ago, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was the twist at the end, if you've seen it or if you've read this, was crazy. And so I was like, I really got to pick this book up. I need something that's historical fiction anyway. And it was a real short read, and I needed that for like a palate cleanser. And man, I loved this book. I could not find anything wrong with this book, but apparently the internet could, because I got called things like a Nazi for reading this book, saying that I was sympathizing with Nazis, when I'm like, this book is literally about the condemnation of the Holocaust. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Maybe you're putting something into it that isn't there, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. Now, I did watch the movie first, so the ending was spoiled for me, but it was still so worth the read. And in my review, I actually said this is a perfect book, in my opinion, as far as a historical fiction, World War II, Holocaust type of book. To me, personally, I did not see any kind of sympathizing with Nazi Germany whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I saw a lot of demonization towards Nazi Germany, but it was really just a story about empathy and compassion towards and some prejudices that people may hold towards a particular people group, and how that can affect us throughout not only our adult lives, but how that affects us as children, and how innocent children are, and how malleable they can be. So I loved this book. If you don't want to pick it up because of the controversy or whatever, I understand, but I loved this. And then the 4th book that I picked up was The Fury of the Gods. Now, I have a review. I just recorded the review for the entire trilogy. It should come out sometime this coming week. In a nutshell, I struggled with this a little bit. It had been 2 years since I had read book 2. And so coming back to it, I had to read the beginning where it tells you like what our characters are up to, which I really appreciate John Gwynne doing, because there was a lot that I forgot. There's a lot of names that are similar. I struggled with this some. I thought it was a little thick, maybe slow going at sometimes, but the battle scenes were so cool. But yeah, I thought it was a good end to a good series, but I don't think it's going to make my top 10 or anything like that. Now, I've got 2 other books that I have been reading and have not yet finished. The first is Monster Hunter International by Larry Correia. This book is awesome. I have been looking for something to replace my Dresden Files withdrawals for about a year, and this definitely scratches that itch. This is really what I was looking for. Even with Dresden Files, he has those kind of monster of the week type books, at least the first couple. And I was like, man, I would really love to pick up a book that is focused on just like old school monsters. And it's just people fighting and having to deal with old school monsters. And that's what this is. Now, I picked this up on audio. I really needed a new audiobook to be listening to help me kind of get my numbers up and my page count up. And so I thought, picking this book up, I was like, that's a pretty small paperback. This is like 800 pages long. And so I really thought I was going to finish this by the end of the month, and I just didn't. I'm about 75% of the way through this. It's excellent. I will definitely be picking up book 2. So I plan on finishing that this month. And then the last book that I've been reading is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Now, I actually picked this book up about a year and a half ago and decided to do some research on it before I got into it, and I put the book down. Now, I have a group of Christian brothers who are on BookTube and Instagram who told me, you've got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. It's not what it was made out to be. Pick it up. And man, they so far have been spot on. This book has been awesome. I'm flying through this, but I'm trying to take my time with it a little bit because I don't want to rush through it. But I will probably finish this weekend. It is excellent. That's what I've been up to. And so let's go into, what am I going to read? Well, I'm going to finish Monster Hunter International by Larry Correia, and I plan on finishing Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Those are the first 2 books that I plan on finishing up, at least in the month of February. So what else am I going to be reading? Well, most likely, I'm probably going to pick up book 2 from Pierce Brown and read Golden Sun. If this stays on track, I am loving this. So I'm probably going to pick up Golden Sun. The 4th book that I plan on reading this month is we're going to be doing a buddy read. Me and those Christian brothers I was talking about that got me to read this. We're going to be doing a buddy read of By Blood, by Salt, which is by an author named J.L. Odom. It's an indie book. It's written by a Christian author, so I'm excited to pick that up. It sounds awesome. Y'all make sure to go pick that up and support her. And if you guys want to read along with us, pick it up because I think we plan on talking about that around early March, something like that. So if you guys want in on that, pick that up, read it with us. We'd love to have you. Yeah, that's going to be book 4, By Blood, by Salt by J.L. Odom. And then book 5, this is going to be an absolute priority series, so it may even jump Golden Sun, which is going to be Grave Empire by Richard Swan. I absolutely loved the Empire of the Wolf trilogy. And so Grave Empire, day 1 when it comes out, that's what I'm digging into. So I'm going to try to finish up Monster Hunter and Red Rising before Grave Empire comes out. I should be able to do that, but as soon as it comes out, I'm going to be diving right into that because the Empire of the Wolf trilogy was one of my favorite series of last year and maybe in my favorite fantasy series of all time. What am I going to read if I have time for anything else? I'll probably pick up book 2 of Monster Hunter International for my audiobook. And if I have time for anything else physical, I'd like to pick up some standalones or, a standalone or 2. I don't really know what I'm looking for yet. Maybe something just as like a palate cleanser. So I hope to pick something like that up probably around the end of the month. So now that brings us to my book haul for the month. Now, I wasn't going to do a dedicated book haul for this month because I did not think that I had enough that I picked up to do a book haul, but I was mistaken, apparently. The first book that I picked up was MHI, Monster Hunter International. Picked that up at a secondhand store for 50 cents. Can't beat it. And then I picked up Red Rising that I already showed. So January was the month of my birthday. So my brother sent me The Shining by Stephen King. I've only read one Stephen King book. It was okay. I read Fairy Tale. And then I kind of wrote Stephen King off due to his that scene in It. And that really should be all I need to say for those of you that know. But my brother sent me The Shining, so I'm willing to give it a shot. I don't know when I plan on picking that up, but so that was very generous. Thank you, John. Love you, bro. And then alongside him, my awesome sister-in-law, she sent me All the Light That We Cannot See. So I think this is a historical fiction. I think it's like a murder mystery. I don't know. I want to go into this blind. So I think this may be the one that I pick up at the end of February. Then I picked up, because I had some gift cards on Amazon, I picked up this awesome edition of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. I think it was like a Barnes & Noble edition or something like that. Super cool. Then on Pango Books, saw a deal for James Butcher's book 2 in his series, which is Long Past Dues. I think I paid like $3, but I had Pango Bucks, so got it for free.
Wow.
So I plan on picking that series up sometime this year as well. Then yesterday, I went into Books A Million, just kind of look around, maybe take some pictures of some books that I might want and see if they're cheaper on Amazon or Pango or whatever. And guys, do not skip over their damaged books section, because I got Michael Moorcock's Elric Book 1 for $8. This was like a $35, $40 book, and they had it for $8. So I grabbed that. And then alongside that, I grabbed Murtagh for $8.
Whoa.
And I don't know what is wrong with it that caused them to mark it as a second, but I mean, for $8, I had to pick that one up too. And so now for some books that got sent to me. Now I ordered these books like a year and a half ago, or maybe like a year ago. The first one is going to be book 3 and the Mother of Learning, and book 4. So I ordered both of these because I had already ordered books 1 and 2. And when the Kickstarter went live, I went ahead and picked these up. These look awesome. It is a time loop story. I plan on picking this up, I hope sometime in the fall. I can't wait to get into these. The covers are just absolutely killer. And then another Kickstarter that I backed, a Kickstarter campaign that I backed, that just looked so cool to me and had such a place in my heart for the nostalgia, is Kolchak the Night Stalker by Jeff Rice. It is a novel of the TV series Kolchak. For those of you guys who don't know, he was like late 70s, early 80s, sort of. He was a detective, but he only investigated paranormal things. And so he ran into things like werewolves, vampires, mummies, Creature of the Black Lagoon, pretty much anything you can think of. He ran into it, and it was just such a cool series, and it brought such nostalgia to me when I saw this. So I had to back this, and it was cheap too. But I mean, look how pretty this got. Sprayed edges. It's got some cool artwork and things like that in it. I mean, I couldn't pass this up. So Kolchak the Night Stalker, I was so excited when this came in. So this is awesome. And then the last two that I picked up came from Broken Binding for my Broken Binding subscription. I have a tier 2 subscription, and I got To Green Angel Tower book 1 and book 2. This book was so thick they had to split it into 2 parts. But I mean, these are just so cool. Jeff Brown, that's does the cover art. I mean, these covers, he's the same artist that did Silver Blood Promise. He's done several others. I mean, these are just the coolest covers that I've seen, and the sprayed edges are just awesome. Yeah, I got a pretty good little book haul for this month. And then lastly, it brings me to, what did I watch this month? Me and my wife watched a few movies. I'm not going to get into everything, but guys, this is not sponsored or anything, but for those of you that are Christians that don't have VidAngel, but you have streaming services, it is well worth it. I think it's like $10 a month. Man, we have so enjoyed it. We've been able to watch movies that we did not think we'd be able to watch due to content reasons and things like that. With VidAngel, you can select everything from the certain words you want to hear to kissing scenes to immodest. I mean, it is just an excellent resource for anybody. So if you haven't heard about VidAngel, look it up. Like I said, it's $10 a month. It's an add-on for your streaming services, and it filters out pretty much anything and everything, any kind of content that you do or don't want either you to watch or hear, and also for your kids. So it's been awesome for us. So check out VidAngel. I highly recommend it. And then lastly, man, the channel and the community has just been so awesome this month. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching these videos and watching, some hillbilly from Podunk, Alabama, talk about books that he likes. It's been so encouraging and edifying. The comments that you guys leave are and the generosity you guys show and the kindness is just, you guys are second to none. I mean, some of you guys I now know on a more personal level. Larry, thank you so much. I love conversing with you, my friend. Keep the comments coming. I love talking to you guys. I love being able to converse with you guys. I love just being able to share this part of my life with you guys that nobody else really seems to care about, which is books, and not just books, but our love for books and reading. And so just thank you guys immensely for tuning in, for liking these videos, for subscribing to the channel. Again, you guys are just second to none, and I just cannot get over I cannot express to you the gratitude that I have for each and every one of you that have liked, subscribed, commented on videos, or even just sat down to watch them. Thank you guys so much. So with that, thank you guys again. I cannot express to you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Please do me a favor, share these videos to your Christian brothers and sisters that love to read. Maybe this can help them out. Maybe it can help them decide on what they should spend their time, money, and energy on. That's why I started this channel, because I wanted something like that. And so I just hope that I can be a resource to my brothers and sisters in Christ. So I love you guys. Appreciate you watching. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you on the next one.